And
good evening and welcome to AGK Media Friday Fenndango. I'm Shelley Carney.
And I'm Toby Younis. Thanks for joining us tonight. We've got emails to read. We've got apologies to make. I'll tell you about those in just a minute. I got some text messages, and we got we'll open up phone lines later, right? I hope you enjoy the evening as much as we will. Picked up a boy the south of Mobile, gave him a ride, filled him with a hot meal. I was 16, it was running wild. Rode with us to Memphis. And you're back.
And we're back. Hello.
Why am I getting a bad stream?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
Okay, so first things first. I want to get this out of the way right. Hi, Miss Shelley.
Hi.
How are you doing?
It's the Ides of March. Beware.
Yeah, well, it's certainly behaving like the Ides of March.
I know, right?
So,
and it's also Mercury retrograde, so yeah, we're having lots of issues.
By the way,
cause girls like you round other guys like me to sundown. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah.
For those of you who use OBS, Open Broadcaster Software, which is a software that we use to communicate with you all, they issued a new release about a week and a half ago, 23.0.2, and for the past couple of days, I've been experiencing a lot of audio problems with it, like more than usual. And I'm sure you guys have noticed that. Well, one of the big audio problems is every time we turned it off and restarted with another program, the audio would drop down to nothing, literally nothing. And I'm watching it on a switcher, on a mixer here, and I know how loud my audio is, but by the time it got to OBS, it was just down. So I went to the OBS forum, and everybody else was having the problem as well. And so there's a buggy, and they haven't fixed it. They were hoping to have a new release out this weekend, but right now what I have is gain as high as possible on our mixer and as high as possible on OBS. So if this is low on your end, the only thing I can ask you to do is turn your volume up, because we're as loud as we're going to get because of OBS. So that's kind of an apology. I'm going to apologize for having the quality that we do, but I'm going to explain that we kind of can't do anything about it for the moment. So second apology, and that is our friend Jim Siri went through all the trouble of ordering a St. Patrick's Day tie for me. And the plan was that since St. Patrick's Day is on Sunday, I would be wearing it tonight. Unfortunately, and the tie arrived. So Jim, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, the green in the tie is the same as our background. So here's the effect it has.
Close enough.
I'm going to show you the tie, okay? Here's what it looks like. It chroma keys out. So the green shamrocks, the green leprechaun who now doesn't have any pants on, is chroma keyed out because of the green. So I couldn't wear it tonight, Jim. But here's what I'm going to do. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, I'm going to celebrate St. Patrick's Day at the casino. And I think I've told you in the past, whenever I go to the casino, I dress up. Dress, tie, shirt, and tie. And I'm going to wear a shirt and tie along with my double-breasted suit. And I'm going to wear this tie. And I will have someone take a picture of me wearing this tie at the casino so that I can share with you on our community blog. So you can see that I did wear your tie, and that I didn't want to waste all that effort that you put into getting it. But as you can see, what did you do for St. Patrick's Day?
Well, that's not till Sunday, but I actually did wear St. Patrick's Day socks.
Oh, I thought you were going to say St. Patrick's Day underwear.
Socks.
Let's see.
Socks.
Oh, yep, here. This is part of her foot missing right there. So, yeah, this green is just too close to our chroma key. So. I have
it's a bit stretch.
I have green underwear, but of course I couldn't possibly share that with you.
Sure you do.
So Jim, I'm sorry. Technology being what it is, you deserve an apology. But I promise you, I will wear it tomorrow night when I go out. and I will make it a point to have someone take a photo of me wearing that. And it's a beautiful tie. I wish you guys could
Did
see
you have
it.
that picture?
Oh, I had a photo. Let's see. Hang on just a second. I'm going to switch over to photos here. So that's the tie, and you can see it's handmade silk, and it's 2 patterns of silk. So you can see it's on black, it's green on black, and the colors are just beautiful. And it is a beautiful and very nice tie, worth wearing, made by Stephen Harris. And unfortunately, we can't because it chrome keys out on us. So, but again, thank you for the wonderful thought.
Speaking of pictures, did you want to talk about this picture here behind us?
Oh, okay. So the other day I made the mistake of incorrectly identifying a photograph that I thought was made by Burton Thomas, and it was actually J.L. So I felt like Jay deserved another night with his own photograph without me misidentifying its the person who took the picture. So this is the second of the photos that J.L. sent us. He's known as Hot Rod Mav in the room, but I thought he deserved another one. And as you can see, this is just as beautiful as the other. Maybe Jay can share with us where he took that photograph for us.
So it's JL Week. Woo!
It's JL Week on the background photo.
Where's the applause?
Oh.
There you go. Yay, JL! Woohoo!
So, quick little bit of housekeeping. So,
Housekeeping, you want to?
don't forget to like this video. YouTube likes it when you like our videos. Make sure you share it with your family, friends, neighbors, business associates, and social networks. And if you're not already a subscriber, click on that subscribe button. When it opens up, you'll see a bell. That's the notification bell. Click on the notification bell, and that way every time we start a new live stream, you will be immediately informed, so you don't have to worry about whether we're going to be popping up. But you can be assured that we will do our best, short of traveling and illness. Although we don't get sick much, do we? No.
Unless you go see that little girl and give her kisses.
We should explain we're talking about my granddaughter who just gave me the worst cold the last time I went to visit her. But we'll be here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. and every Friday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So there's one more thing that I want to do before I get into emails, and that is I'm going to do a promo. And this is an unpaid promo, but I'm going to do it. So as you all know, I recently purchased a house. I want you to know that I bought my first house in 1974 as a veteran because I have the benefit of the veterans loan, VA loan. I bought my first house in 1974. Since then, this is my 12th house. So in 40-some years, I've bought 12 houses. And this is the first time I've ever used this company. And the company is called, this is their logo, it's called Veterans United. I've never used them before. And my only regret is that I had never used them before. If you are a veteran and considering purchasing a home and you qualify for your VA loan, I highly recommend this company. This was the least painful home purchase I had ever made. It literally consisted of occasional phone calls, emails that had documents for me to sign electronically. The paperwork was all done by them. The qualification through VA was done by them. I basically just had to sign stuff. They asked for 3 or 4 things like my last 2 years' tax returns, etc., etc. They qualified. They did the initial qualification within a day. They hired the appraiser, the realtor, who was just great, Jeff. He was just really, a personable guy who went along with everything that I wanted. I mean, real easy to work with. They have an association with Military United, which does insurance. So Military United got the insurance for us, and then in addition, because it was cheaper, redid my car insurance as part of the whole package, and then contracted with the title company. I mean, it was literally as painless as any in 40 years of buying houses. So I highly recommend that if you're a veteran, you qualify for your Veterans VA loan, and you're thinking about buying a house, contact Veterans United. And if you're really that interested, send me an email, gypsyskiss@gmail.com, and I will send you my contact, because he was nothing but gracious. They have a team of 3 or 4 people. They'll call you. They'll tell you what their responsibilities are. They'll tell you there's some forms that you have to sign and or complete, because they had all the information they needed. And like I said, I had an approval letter the day after I spoke to them the first time. And I didn't have to do anything with the VA. They handled everything. So I strongly recommend. In addition to that, after the closing, I got 3 different calls from them congratulating me and thanking me for working with them. And then they sent me a customized front door mat, and it says, it's a big heavy rubber mat, and it has the Younis residence imprinted on it. And then today I got home from running errands, and this was on my doorstep. This had been delivered by the UPS guy. It's a gift box from them, and it has a deck of cards, so in case I end up
having a poker party.
They must know that I like playing poker, or canasta, I suppose.
Yeah, there you go. Canasta.
It has
keys. It has keys on it. Maybe the key word is in there.
And they have their own challenge coin.
Proud veteran homeowner.
That's what it says on the card. So they have their own challenge coin, which I'll put someplace nice.
Nice.
I got a T-shirt. I haven't opened it yet.
Proud veteran homeowner.
So that's their thing. So I got a T-shirt that says Proud veteran homeowner, and asked me about Veterans United.
Nice.
So this is my opportunity to kind of promote them. But what the coolest thing that they sent was, one of the things that my wife always used to do is whenever we moved.
In case you don't get the ink on you, kind of smearing it there.
Okay. Whenever we moved, she'd always send cards to family and friends to let them know that we moved in the new address. So they sent these cards. It's a set of about a dozen cards for you to send out, and then they sent out this stamp, right? And you stamp the card. Let's see, we got that in the picture right there. You stamp the card and you send these out to let people know your new address. And I'm going to use them because I'm planning a housewarming. So I'll send it not only to local family but to friends. The girls aren't going to be out. We'll do it some other time when they visit. But again, I wanted to take this opportunity to mention them, because not because they're just good people, but because it was the easiest, least painful home purchase I have ever made in 44 years of buying homes. So strongly recommend them, Veterans United. And if you're in a position that you're thinking about it, let me know, and I'll give you Adam's contact information. And they were just great to work with. They're in Missouri, in the center of the nation, and everything is done electronically. It was just really amazing. So I strongly recommend them. Okay.
Now what?
Emails.
Emails. Emails, we get. But Steve Gahagan wants to come over and cook dinner for you, so.
Oh. Okay, so we got some emails to go through. I thought I'd share these with you guys, and then we'll go to the room, say hi to everybody in the room, play out their themes, and see what's going on for the rest of the night. I've got some text messages that I had already had, but I see there's more coming in. So you can send a text message to make. So let me do this right away. Actually, you do this. How do we get there? How do they get our attention?
You get our attention. Well, if you're in the chat room and you just want to say something to us, make sure you start it with the @ AGK space media.
I'm sorry. I always say underscore. That's why it screws them up. I'm sorry. You're right. Excuse me for that.
If you just put AGK space media, then it will turn orange, and we'll be sure to see it in the chat room. And if you would like to do a super chat, that makes sure that it gets highlighted in a big colorful box, and we're sure to answer your question and see it in the chat room when you do that. Otherwise, you can text us at 1-866-597-9901. It's a toll-free number, and you can send us a text or a voicemail. And then when we open the phone lines a little bit later, you can give us a call tonight, and we can talk live.
Roger. Roger that.
All right.
Roger that, sissy.
Let's keep that in mind.
Okay, so this is from Taos Searcher. His name is Chris. He says, "Hey guys, your friend here from Taos. Great show this evening." He was talking about Wednesday evening. "Just wanted to share an awesome song that you might like to hear. Might have heard it before, being from New Mexico." Here's the link. And I had heard it before. It's the New Mexico True theme song. And it's performed by a local band. And so what I did, rather than play it here, I posted it to our community page on our YouTube channel. So if you'll go there, you'll see the video that Chris is referring to. And Chris, thanks for sending that. It's really very well done. New Mexico True is our state branding marketing theme, and they do a great job of it. I've always been real impressed with their work, but when they did this video, it was especially good because it was such a well-produced video. It's called "Feels Like Home, New Mexico True." So I posted that to the community blog. You'll be able to watch it right there. Okay, so this is titled, the subject line is "Hello, Toby and Shelley. I am pretty short of the key word."
And what is it?
Well, I don't think he tells us. He's just
what is that?
Sure of it.
He's sure of it.
"I did what Forrest has said to do, and the key word and important part of the poem is now evident to me. I would like to offer it to you if you do a show about it and include me as the name who supplied the information to you. Do we have a deal? Please reply that you will if please reply if you will. The information is good enough to warrant a show. I will take my chances on that part in good faith. Richard." Okay, Richard, we would love to hear what you have to say, but we're not doing that format anymore. We're not dedicating shows to specific topics. But if you'd like to let us know on what night, either Wednesday or Friday, between starting at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, you'd like to call in and talk about it, we would love to do that with you, and that way you could share it with the community as well. But we're just not doing that format anymore. We're not doing the dedicated show format. We're doing the open line format.
Yeah.
More like a morning radio drive show.
Interactive.
Okay, subject line, Fenn Treasure from John Hancock, one of the original signers of the Constitution.
That's how he signs things.
His email is ttotcphantom. "Hello, Toby and Shelley. I can't say my real name at the moment. Just call me the Florida Phantom for now. I don't join the blogs because of what I know about the solve for the chest. But I have a question for the search community. What clue would they want to find Forrest?" Wait just a minute. So here's the question he's asking the community, and I guess we'll just pass this off into the chat room, and you can answer it in the chat room. So let me see if I can get this right, because it doesn't feel right to me. It says, "What clue would they, meaning you guys, want to find Forrest Fenn's blaze?" What's it mean exactly?
I guess it means he knows where what the blaze is, and I don't know. Keep reading.
Well, he says vote by number. Number 1, what state the blaze is in. So put down your answer response to that. Number 2, how many miles between where warm waters halt and the blaze. And number 3, what color the blaze is. So our answer to what state the blaze is in is New Mexico. Our answer to number 2 is how many miles between warm water and the blaze. Less than a mile, less than a half mile. And what color the blaze is. That one I don't know. What do you think? Guesses?
White.
Like the white quartz in a white quartz blaze in a granite background, like.
Sure.
Okay. White. I'll be watching Friday's show and tally up the votes. So this is up to you guys in the room. He's expecting your responses. I'll be watching Friday's show and tally up the votes. If somebody doesn't find the chest before me, since so many people know where it is, wow. No, many people know where they think it is, right? Their theory. I don't think there are any two people that agree. I'll have a big surprise for the next Maverick to find the blaze. Thanks for doing this, Toby and Shelley. I enjoy all videos you and the Fenn searchers put out. They all put a lot of effort into the chase. They're just not figuring out the subtle hints in the Thrill of the Chase book. A couple of chapters have a key word, at least was for me. I wish everybody good luck on your solve, and you'll know it's the right one if you follow the clues in the poem. Signed, the Florida Phantom. Because only the Phantom knows.
Ah.
By the way, so there was a big conversation about that quote, the one that Forrest, where he says he gets asked a question and his response is only the Phantom knows. You guys should know that video is on our channel. That was an interview that I did with him after the Raynell Jacobson drawing, raffle drawing back in 2000, or it was like January 2014, and I had just finished interviewing Ally McGraw, and I started interviewing Forrest, and the question I asked him was like, what's in the future for the treasure hunt? And that was his response. And when I heard the clip, that I can't remember, somebody played the clip. Somebody had the clip someplace. And I realized that's my laugh. You can hear my laugh afterwards. So I remembered where it was from. And if you go to our channel, look through YouTube videos and look for that January 2014 where we did the, it's called the search post-raffle interview, I think it is. And that quote in its entirety is in there. And so am I, because I did the interview. How convenient, no? So this is from Chris Dotson. His subject line, it's Dotson, D-O-T-S-O-N, so no relation to Sean. And the subject line is thanks. I always like subject lines that just say thanks. I enjoyed hearing you read my email, LOL, loved the rooster, or whatever you want to call it. I must have teased him about knowing where the treasure was.
Last time.
I'd be glad to do an interview after the fact. Yes, if you got anyone here listening to this video, if you find the treasure, call us and we'll interview you live. We'll bring you in the studio and do a live interview. Let's see. I'll do an interview after the fact. I don't really want any out there to know what I look like anyway. I'd rather be, like Forrest Fenn said, a fly fisherman. The hound instead of the fox. Under the radar, as Jason Dent or Sasha would say. I'll send you some pics while I'm out with boots on the ground. I've been watching the weather where it's at, and I'm not sure when I'll go. It's going to be a while because it just keeps snowing up there. At least here in New Mexico. I'm sure it is in the other states as well. But it'll be as soon as I can. I'll give you something to think about, though. Forrest Fenn, grandson, flies him to the party in the third book. I thought it was the second book. Is it the third book?
What?
When he flies him to Suzanne Summers.
Must be the second one. It's not in the first.
I believe so. He can go where he wants as fast as he wants to, because I'm sure he's made friends and been respected by every small or big airfield in the West. Another thing, too, have you ever noticed Skippy's hand in the picture that he used I the first and last book. It's 24 or 42. Plus, when he built the helicopter, he said that at least free admission, so I'm pretty sure you can exclude any parks. That's the smallest hints I'm going to give to the hunters out there, because, like I said, I'm just waiting for the weather to clear. I might not even wait that long. Wait a minute. That sounds like...
Can't wait for... Oh,
safety squirrel?
Safety squirrel.
Safety squirrel. Safety squirrel.
Be safe.
Be safe out there. Let's see. It may not even wait that long. I'm about to have an anxiety attack. LOL. But FF covered everything. Just look on page 87 in The Thrill of the Chase and start at the second paragraph. Snake School Lesson 101. I'll try to make this ride enjoyable for everyone paying attention. Thanks again, Frog Eyes. You know, oh, he sent me a picture. There was a picture attached to this. So it was a picture of he and his wife. She's the bodyguard. We had to get him together with the Phantom of the Florida. Oh, there it is.
Florida Phantom.
They're a cute couple. That looks very Florida, doesn't it? Okay, so this is a response from our friend William Thorpe, the guy from Society Magazine that wanted to interview us. He says, we've responded to him. He says, great. I'm supposed to land in Denver the 17th of April and take off the 26th. I will probably be in New Mexico between the 17th and the 22nd. I'm supposed to meet some hunters during the weekend, so if we could meet around the 18th or 20th, that'd be great. What is the 18th and 20th? Is that next week?
Yeah.
Oh, no, April.
Oh, April. No, that's not next week.
Yeah. Don't hesitate to tell me if I have other permits. So he wants to meet between the 18th and 20th. And apparently he's already contacted some searchers. So I will ask him if he wants names of any other searchers in Colorado. And if he does, I'll ask for some emails. Ask him to send me some emails. Let's see. Let me make sure this isn't... Okay. So this is the subject of this email is too much snow. Hi, Toby and Shelley. My name is Tom W. from Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. That would be a lot of snow. That would be a lot of snow. Enjoy watching every chance I get. I got into the search late November, but managed to get a couple of boots on the ground. Oh, wow. On the ground, one in late December and again in late January. Well, it sure isn't searching in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. My search area is about 8,500 feet, so there's plenty of snow on the ground. Yeah, yes, there is. For those that want to get out early, it's better to wait until the snow is melted. Good advice. Here's why you should wait. It's fairly easy to walk on the trails when heavy snow cover and walk hillside as well. The problem is that the snow gets hard as ice in many places, making it next to impossible to retrieve the chest, even if they think they know exactly where it's placed. Chopping and shoveling could damage the treasure chest, which would be upsetting to many. I'm not sure that would be I wouldn't worry about it. It's bronze, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to hurt it much. Another thing to keep in mind, snow makes for very easy for anyone to follow to where you have been. I think the place where Forrest hid the treasure is fairly close to where I parked, but I walked about an extra half mile not to make a direct path. When I got close to where I believe the treasure chest is, the snow was hard as ice, and most likely the chest would be frozen to the ground. This is when I decided to come back when the conditions are favorable. Good idea. The odds of the chest being found anytime soon are not too great, and the snow just makes for the odds to be even slimmer. Here's my question, which has been asked before, but in a slightly different way. Do you think Forrest may have used cameras prior to placing the chest to monitor a special place? No. I'm thinking Forrest has plenty of time to study the special place before he hid the chest. This is why he's so confident that no one will just happen to find it accidentally. We agree. This leads me to believe that the chest might not be as remote of a location as one would think. I also think Forrest's special place along the side of somewhere larger area, and this large area that makes his hiding place special. I think we had that conversation. That's kind of what we think, that the area, special place is the area and the niche in which the location in which the treasure is hidden, a small part of that. You could have a canyon 20 miles long, not that long, that Forrest deemed to be his special place. Now find the place so secluded within the canyon no one goes. Yep, been there, done that, without any success. The poem is all we have to find the starting point and shrink the canyon to a much smaller area. As for the poem, I was absolutely positive I had, along with Google Satellite, gotten the correct solve. December 23rd, I got a quick lesson in satellite distortion and a taste of humble pie. Been there, had that. It wasn't until halfway home that I had understood my error. January trip confirmed I have all 9 clues, but it will have to wait until later in the spring to know if they're the correct 9 clues. Thanks for all your efforts to bring quality resources to the Fenn community. Dang, my sister. That's a lot of people believing where that treasure is, no? I'm glad we're not looking for it.
Do they all know where it is?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
so they're...
That's the problem.
Did they get the rooster?
It's the... I can't even give them the rooster at this point.
Can they get lead searcher?
Let's see. Let's give them lead searcher. Since they only have the treasure. There can only be one.
There can be only one.
Okay, let's see. I'll see if I can do this without cutting it off this time.
The hello song.
All right, you ready to say hello to the folks in the chat room?
Yeah, let's try that.
Hello from the other side.
And you're back.
All right, and we have had a lot of chats so far. So let's start with the person at the top of my page here that's as high as it's going to go tonight. K-Pro is in the house.
K-Pro. You know what that is?
Yes.
What's it?
It's Confident by Demi Lovato.
Yeah, that's you, big girl.
She's confident. We have Finders Keepers saying hello.
Hey, Finders Keepers.
Sledneck's in the house.
Sledneck, come on, brother. You need a song. Send it in. Check out, I got 1, 2, 3 more empty spaces. Karaoke.
You deserve a spot. You've been here forever and you're very loyal.
.com. Find a song you like and I'll pick it up from there.
Jason Northface. World famous gamer.
WFG.
Uh-huh.
Same for you guys. We got 3
Brian
more.
Eagle. Hooley.
Because she always makes us dance happy when it comes to her.
Because she's always a very positive person.
Mm-hmm.
Joe S.
Joe S.
Don't go around tonight. Well, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise.
The bad moon on the rise.
Oh, that was Bathroom.
Oh, no. It's a bathroom.
It was a road song because, like, somebody had to go to the bathroom. There's a bathroom.
Is this another one of, what's his name?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, who else is here? William.
William? Yeah, we do have a William. So good dance music, don't you think?
Yeah. Davio is here.
Davio.
And we have Todd Birmingham.
Todd Birmingham. That's a new name, isn't it? Or is that, has he been here
He
before?
hasn't been here for very long, but
Oh.
he's been in the room several times now.
All right.
Czar 334.
Hey, Czar.
Did I say Brian Eagle?
You did.
All right. Mitzi Moore.
Mitzi?
I don't know what song that was. Do you?
It's just like a hot song, you know, like a...
Oh, okay. Silver Fox. Kurt Hensley. Gold Dog.
Oh, so I can't. He doesn't, he's not happy with the one that I picked for him, so he's sending me another.
Oh, all
So
right.
we can play.
All right. William Hada.
Bulldog, make sure you go to karaoke version, karaoke-version.com and pick the one that you want so I can download it.
William Hada. Steve Gahagan.
Steve, good.
That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April and shut down in May.
I think that should have been
Buried in
23
snow
Minorca. Toby Fan 3000, John Werner.
Hey, John Warner. Toby Fenn. Is Karen in the room too? Haven't seen it.
I thought I saw her and it said she had the flu or something.
Mm.
AJ Rainville. Heather Dawn.
Heather Dawn.
Oh. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. She picked that.
It's a good one. I like it.
Mm.
Mr. T.
Question from WFG.
Tom K.
Tom K. Oh, he's the one that just wrote us. He's the one that we just read the email from.
He's asking about Veterans United. Were they quick with the pre-approval letter? Do they work on weekends? In Denver, market is hectic and might need a banker that can do a letter on a weekend, depending on the house.
I don't know. I don't know if it happened on a weekend. I literally called them on Wednesday, and I had a signed approval letter on Thursday. We were looking for houses on Friday.
That's true. True story.
Because I asked my partner and her husband to help me look for houses.
Czar334 says, your picture is very clear. It's like an HD. I bet it is.
It is. We're shooting in 1920 1080, and we're doing it at 5K bits over the stream. So thank you.
23 Minorcas here.
23 Minorca. Okay. 23 Minorca. I thought Andrea Bocelli was really appropriate for you, but Shelley's not happy with it. If you're not happy with it,
it doesn't sound like anything except da da. That's it. That's all you get. It's not. That's not much for as much as he, participates. Matt Bear is here. Rusty Nipples, and he says, "Ever notice?" Or she says, "I'm not sure which." And this person says, ever notice Forrest has a hard time reciting the entire poem from memory? He always has it on paper in front of him and has to refer to it for the last 2 stanzas. Wonder why.
I'll tell you what, if I hadn't had a copy of the poem with me at Moby Dickens, we would have had to dig up the book, because he gets to the second to last stanza and he forgets part of it. But I'm kind of the same way. Shelley will tell you that whenever we go out searching and we run into someone, I go into drama mode and I start reciting the poem, and I get down to the 5th stanza and I kind of say, and that's where the clues are, because I'm like Forrest, I can't remember the.
Yeah, I had to pick it up and finish it for you that time we were with Chris D'Angelo.
Yeah. Oh, Chris D'Angelo. Yeah.
Mitchy Mitch is here.
Hey, Mitchy Mitch, wait, I have something to say. So everybody was asking me about the pictures that Mitchy Mitch had sent to us. His name is Michel, actually, from Germany. And I wanted to share those with you. So what I did, because I couldn't get the resolution on this screen, so what I did is I put them on the community blog, our community blog. And both photos are up there. And if you open them up, you'll be able to download them and analyze them yourself. I also put all his commentary on the first photo, which explains what he was doing and how he found the face in the photo.
Charles Chapman is here.
Charles, I know you want a song. I need to get it from karaoke version, or karaoke-version. So take a look there and then send me the link, the one that you like for yourself.
Parzival the Wise. And Jungle Cruiser.
Brian Eagle was asking, why so blasé?
Oh,
it's Blaze of Glory.
Blaze, blasé. Jungle Cruiser's here. Illinois Ghost is here.
Wow. Hey, Rick. Long time no see.
Kurt Hensley. Blaze of Glory. Bloop, bloop,
Blaze of Glory, another YouTuber. He sent us a bunch of pictures, too, that we'll get to use.
World Famous Gamer wants you to contact him on Facebook about getting a house in Florida. So probably wants to talk about Veterans United.
Oh. Well, just send an email to gypsyskiss@gmail.com, and I will send you the contact information, because I'm not a house expert. As a matter of fact, the last time I bought a house was the one that I bought back in 2007 when I moved here to New Mexico in 2010, because I sold that house and I rented. So Honestly, a lot had changed since the house that I bought in 2007 versus the one that I bought this year, just now. But I'm telling you, if you qualify for a VA loan, you really need to contact these people.
Christopher Robin. I watched that movie last weekend.
Oh, when Kevin and I were working on the Shelley?
Mm-hmm. And Christopher Ramuska. I have been within 500 yards of the treasure. This has been confirmed by Forrest Fenn. I have only searched 4 specific areas. I live in Arizona. That's all I will share.
Well, that's a bunch to share there, Bubba.
All right. Well, that's a good story. Pete Shing Healy. First bear spotted Yellowstone National Park last week.
They're out of hibernation.
It's pretty cold out there. Tails.
If you painted your body with chroma key, what would happen in front of the camera? This, the same thing that... So let's say I was wearing a green suit. You would see right through my green suit and into the background, or whatever we put on the chroma key, right? So whatever's on the chroma key will pass through the green. I'm going to be dressed to the nines tomorrow, though.
All righty. All will be well. New York City. Danny White. Sometimes Ya. Missouri Dave.
Bill Gorman, researcher, I think.
And come on.
What's going on with Matt Bear and Mitzi? He just said you look so tasty, though. What?
He's talking about the bears eating
Ew.
people.
Oh, okay.
I'm stuck. Nothing happening. And
gosh,
so
did that again.
yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Oh, it's just been stuck. Stuck.
I'm moving away.
Mercury retrograde. Paladin's here.
Paladin.
You got a Paladin song?
I don't have its Paladin song because
okay.
I couldn't find it on karaoke. I'm going to have to find it someplace else.
Homer Weisenheimer. Steve Wayne. Mark Wood. Where is Cynthia tonight? Don't know.
I don't know. I talked to her earlier. In the day, but I didn't know she was going to be around tonight.
Okay.
T. Brown says, Shelley.
T. Brown. All right. I'm at the bottom. If I have missed your question, it is because the iPad is being weird. So send it again and make sure you do the @ sign, AGK space media.
So Mitch says, thanks for putting that up. You're welcome. Glad I could. K-Pro says, do you have a song for Forrest Fenn? That would be fun. I'm sure it would be for someone.
And we have Odorous Gnome and Tom K. I may not have said those.
May is in the room because Odorous Soul was saying hi to me. Yeah.
Michael Hoole.
Michael Hoole. I don't
Michael Hoole has
that.
a song.
So there's Illinois. Gosh. Oh, he's leaving now. Wow, that's how far we were behind here. Illinois.
Zozo Rocks. Zozo Rocks is in the
Zozo,
room.
I love Zozo Rocks.
Oh.
There are 3 riffs that I like. That's one of them. There's one by AC/DC, and then there's one by what's his name? Not Axl Rose. Who Axl Rose sang for who?
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses.
That's the name Rose.
Yeah, sorry.
Roses. Aaron Hurley, is that a 3D microphone?
Or am I
It's a real one. It's just close.
A 3D microphone? You mean like 3-dimensional audio? I don't think so.
Kurt caught a fish today. I ate a fish today.
And the rest of it is in my refrigerator, so I may get a chance as well.
I didn't bring you any.
I thought you said you did. You showed me the picture.
I didn't think you liked cod.
Ooh.
Do you like cod?
Apparently not.
Well, now you're going to have a pouty face?
No, I have no pouty face.
Hey, Patricia Marin is here.
Buenas
Hola.
noches. Buenas noches, Patricia.
And I think that's it. So, again, if I've missed your comment that you wanted us to see,
Right, there's something from
try it again.
Right.
Got him a country boy.
God, I'm a country boy. For Sledneck.
For Sledneck?
Okay.
Oh, who's Kevinston?
Any relation to you?
From Richmond, Virginia.
My old home state. I like to think of it as my... Let me see if I can get you chat up on here as much as... We're going to be behind on it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it so you can see it up there.
It's funny when you just put a bunch up.
Give us a sec here, gang, because this... And we're not cooperating with the chat. Okay, there you go. I'll pop it out and give you a full window.
All right. Whew. This thing's making me crazy.
Okay.
Adoniram is here.
Okay, so where did you quit? Do you have some
Adoniram.
song for us? Kurt Hensley, K-Pro, Paladin. Paladin, I will get you a song. Gold Dog.
James Elias. Forrest Fenn at gmail.com, right?
Forrestfan@gmail.com. Yeah, if you want to write him, he's not real good about responding to his emails right now. He stepped
Mark
away.
Wood.
I'm interested to see if that journalist from Society in France is going to get a chance to speak with him.
Mark Wood says, where did this Fenn quote come from? To an ant, a mud puddle is like an ocean.
Wow. I know he
don't
said
know.
it,
Somebody? Anybody?
But go to terryscant.com.
Anybody?
Go to terryscant.com, enter ant and ocean, and it should tell you. What is Mark Wood's? I can't see that for. Can you see that for?
What are we looking at?
The AGK media ones.
Oh.
He's okay.
How much
So
did you
go.
play with the green screen? From T. Brown.
How much did you play? Well, so we're at a distinct advantage when it comes to green screen because Shelley and I have been doing green screen for, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, in various forms. Both in studio, like at UPublic, we had our own studio with our own green screen when we were doing film, New Mexico Film Week. Toby, make my music, ZZ Top. Mr. T, that's supposed to be my music. Okay, but I'll make it for you. Well, the next three that give me the karaoke version, version links will be the next three to get the 3 empty carts that I have on this.
You have anything for Brit Chaser? He's in the room.
Brit Chaser is in the room. You know where that comes from?
Back to the Future.
Back to the
Back
Future.
to the country where we came from.
Yep.
The quote came from Mysterious Writings.
Says William. So that was the quote about the ant and the ocean thing.
Well, T. Brown, when you use OBS, the green screen is fairly simple, and there are YouTube videos out there that tell you how to do it, and just made it real easy for us.
Oh, is that the question he asked?
Mm-hmm.
No. This was so OBS is like the software version of having a technical director switcher in front of you, and the problem with the technical director switcher is the interface is always on a screen, right? So the software interface of the hardware is on a screen, so you have to kind of learn both before you can do them. OBS has the filter, the chroma key filter and the chroma pad filter in as part of it. And its default setting, literally what you're looking at right now in terms of our chroma key is the default setting for OBS. Now, that makes it supremely easy. But I will tell you that the reason that we can use the default settings for OBS is that A, we painted the flat chroma key green screen behind us on a wall, and B, we lit the hell out of it. And between the two of those, that's what gives the secret to chroma key is not the color of green. The secret to chroma key is how well you light whatever your background is, because you can use any color. As a matter of fact, if we had used blue, we wouldn't have had this problem, right? I've been in a studio where they used kind of an someplace. What's that? I call it magenta. You call it
Fuchsia.
Fuchsia. I was in a studio once where they used a bright version of fuchsia, and that was their chroma key. And so you can use any color. The two most common are green and blue, and the defaults for OBS basically they have the defaults for green and blue. I selected the defaults for green and didn't have to do anything else. This is the default scheme for green in OBS. So. What?
Adoniram says, in a video of Forrest Fenn reading his poem, you misquoted the line, if you are brave, with if you've been brave. Any thoughts?
Yes. He's old and he doesn't know his own poem. He's old and
he's
he forgets
not as
his
much
poem.
of a fanatic about it as we are.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. He doesn't seem to be as crazy as we are about the poem. Okay, we ready to go
When
to...
does most of the snow melt up in the mountains around Yellowstone? I would not think about going there before June.
Yeah, Yellowstone, considering the amount of snow we've gotten down here in the south, we wouldn't, if we were going searching, we probably wouldn't go till May. So I think May or June for Yellowstone. Well, you'll know because they won't open up the park roads until then.
We got a lot of snow this year. It's going to take a while to melt.
Yeah. Okay, Sue. Eric Henderson here in Boulder. Do you have any hunches on who the searcher is that was within 200 feet back in, did I read this already? 2013. First of all, it was before 2013. It was earlier, we don't know exactly when, but it was closer to the 2010-11 time frame than it was 2013. I have no hunches on the person. I have some generic hunches in that's when the book was still being sold in the first volumes, the first 1,000 volumes at Collected Works. So my guess is it was someone who knew Forrest and who Forrest knew. Because I don't know where this quote came from, and I may be making it up, but Forrest said, I didn't think he knew me that well. So, but I don't, he has so many friends in Santa Fe that it could have been any one of them that bought the book, figured it out, and headed up there. And as I understand it, never went back, didn't find the treasure, and never went back. That's the story that I've heard. I don't have any, I couldn't prove it if I had to, that particular story. But I don't have any hunch on individuals that it might be. I used to think it might have been that guy, the guy that the gold jeweler. I can't remember his name. He makes gold jewelry, but handmade gold jewelry in Santa Fe. I don't even know. And he used to have a shop downtown on the plaza, and he was a very good friend of Forrest's. And then the other good friend that Forrest had a hat store off right up the street from the Collected Works. And I know they were very close, so it could have been him as well. But I get a feeling that it was somebody close to Fenn. Okay. Let's see. Oh, voicemail. We have a voicemail. Shall we try and play it? I haven't done the audio settings. Hang on, we're going to try and play this voicemail. Tell us if you can hear it.
Hey, Toby, I was watching your Hump Day Hoedown for Fenn. Was waiting to see that Mitch face that he got off the map. He was going to show it this Wednesday. You didn't. Anyway, you could show it Fenndango Friday. I'd appreciate it. A lot of us are excited to see it. Thanks.
So this person, area code 501, didn't leave a name or their location. But as I said earlier, I took both of the images that Mitch had sent us, and I put them up on in 2 entries on our community blog. So you can actually, they're full size. They're the size that Mitch sent us, Michelle sent us. So you can download them from there. Just click on it and do a save as. So you can do it from there.
Mark Wood says, what if the Fenn family camping gear secret stash spot is also the treasure chest hiding spot? What if?
Obvi. Oh, another voicemail.
Sorry, I can't understand your online videos anymore. It sounds kind of muffled. And Shelley is very muffled and very hard to hear. And Toby sounds very muffled also.
Okay, so that's a commentary on our audio situation, apparently.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you for your patience. We're working out the gremlins, and there are lots. Whenever you have a multi-million-dollar production facility like this, there are going to be some gremlins. Several weeks ago, you shared some photos from your search area. There were 3 of them. GE, Google Earth, boots on the ground, and drone. Could you show them again? D in Wisconsin. Wisconsin. So let me go back to pictures and pull those up.
T. Brown wants to know, are roundtables a thing of the past? I don't know if you mean the panels that we were doing?
Yeah, we were doing panels. Roundtables was wasn't that Sean Dodson that started around? Yeah, check with Sean Dodson. He's the one that started the roundtables. So,
But if you mean the panels, then we're probably only going to do those about once a month, because when we do them every week, we have a hard time getting panelists to have enough time to be on the panel. But when we do them about once a month or every 6 weeks, then we get a lot more response, and they don't get so repetitive. So we'll keep trying to put some together when new topics come up.
yeah, as a matter of fact, if you have ideas for topics, please send them to agypsyskiss@gmail.com, and we'll put about a panel a month. It seems like a reasonable number. Oh, so let me go back to the photos. So that would be here, and we're gonna not look at the tie. All right, so let's start with. Let me turn off the tie. So this is the image. So this is the Rio de los Pinos below the Colorado-New Mexico border. This is a little island right here, and it's much more sparsely populated in this Google Earth image, so there's no telling when it was taken or what time of the year it was taken. Because I'll show you the differences in just a minute. So this is the Rio de los Pinos going from northwest to southeast. The Colorado-New Mexico border is up above that by a little bit. And there's this island, and this part of the river during runoff fills up, right, like that. And it really does become a little island unto itself. You have to cross the water. You'll see here there are some trails. Those are not human trails. Those are trails made by the cows, because is it Carson National Forest? Carson National Forest, right? The Carson National Forest, just like the Rio Grande National Forest up above in Colorado, they lease those areas to the cattlemen in the area, and the cattle range through there in the beginning of the spring all the way through the fall to feed on the wonderful grass and step on the snakes. So that's as close as I could get of that area with Google.
People were in the room talking about when you're out walking around where there's bears, you should sing. Remember, that's what I was doing because of the snakes.
Oh.
I was singing to the snakes. Get out of the way, snakes. So,
yeah, I just have a 9mm with snake shot in it, which is not going to protect me from.
I mean, it was just a little garter snake, but when you're just going to go take a step and suddenly something slithers right where you're going to put your foot, you just kind of go,
Okay, so that's the Google Earth height. That's as close as you can get to that area with Google Earth. So then I'm going to take you to the other extreme, and I'm going to show you this little spot right there. I don't know if you can see the arrow on the screen. Can they see the arrow on the screen? So I'm going to take you to that corner of the island that's basically the northwest corner of the island. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when your boot's on the ground. And that's this photo, boots on the ground height. That's this right there. Okay, so that's the northeast corner of that island as it looks boots on the ground. And as you can see, in comparison to the Google Earth image, it's far greener and more lush than the Google Earth image is. And again, this is along the Rio de los Pinos. That's Shelley up front, taking the lead, protecting us from all the snakes. And that's Kevin, who takes the fishing rod every time we go out because there's always a chance we're going to fish. So that's what it looks like when your boot's on the ground. What I like is this image, and that is the image that I get from the drone. So that's right there is where Shelley and Kevin were standing. That's the same tree. That's the northeast corner on the island. And that's the imagery we get from the drone. And that's at about 100 feet. Now, it was difficult that day. The imagery could have been better. There were two problems with it. I was fighting a 17 to 20 knot wind, and secondly, the sun was at 12 o'clock. It was directly overhead, so it's reflecting directly back from the water. If I had waited a little later in the afternoon, I had a better shot where the sun was lower in the sky. But those are the differences. Those are the same 3 images that I showed everybody the last time.
Looks like a river of Dr. Pepper.
It does. Yeah, it has
the bubbles and the
kind
same
of
color.
It does have a brown tint from the drone. When you're that close to it, it's more green blue. No, from the air, it has the brown tint. So those are the 3 images I hope that you were talking about, because they're the ones that I've shown in the past. Okay, thank you for asking that question. D in Wisconsin. This one is from Lone Wolf. Area code 317. Could the home of Brown be a UPS drop box off a road near a canyon? Thanks, Lone Wolf. I think I could unequivocally answer that question. No, it's not. It is not a drop box, UPS drop box. Hi, AGK Media. Last month, Forrest Fenn wrote that he was stepping back from the chase, but a few days ago, he posted a scrapbook in which he copies his email reply to a searcher. What do you make of this inconsistency? This is only going to encourage searchers to keep contacting him. Thanks, Richard from New England. Well, first of all, I'm not even sure that the gentleman who provided the information that he did is necessarily a searcher. He's certainly a researcher, because he had to go through all that trouble to find those materials in support of Fenn. And I think Fenn is a bit of a, he likes history, and he likes his place in history. And I think if you go through all the trouble of finding the materials that document his recovery, after his second airplane crash, along with all that detail in it, I can't help but think he'd want to share that with the world. And the scrapbook is the easiest way to do that, because he knows he can send it all to Dale, and Dale will put it in a nice format and put it up for him. So I don't feel like that was necessarily a contradiction to his stepping back. He could still step back from the chase. He's not providing chase information. He's basically providing more information about himself. I guess you could interpret some of that in some way to get some benefit, but I don't think that reading, the rescue helicopter's logbook is going to get you any closer to the treasure. So I don't think it's him getting back into the chase. I don't think it's a contradiction. I think he's just a good guy that loves his own history and loved the idea that somebody had gone through all the trouble to find that information and wanted to share it with the world, because after all, it is public information. So I don't see that as a contradiction.
Mark Wood says, what evidence is there that Forrest Fenn has ever been to this spot in New Mexico? We believe it in our hearts.
The honest answer is there is no more evidence that Forrest has been to that spot. If you're talking about the spot,
Our spot,
the Rio de los Pinos, there is no more evidence that Forrest has been to that spot than to any other spot anywhere. None.
Hey, Jan Kirby.
That's why it's all theoretical. It's our theory, and you have your theory, but there is no more evidence saying that Forrest had been at that. We know that Forrest had been to, that's a good example. Fishing Bridge in Yellowstone National Park. Treasure's not going to be there. Yes, there is evidence that he went there. The likelihood that the treasure is there is slim to none. So it's a special place, and it's not going to be hidden under Fishing Bridge. Good evening, Toby and Shelley. I'm very confident that I have the poem figured out or understood. Now I have the dilemma. Do I have to present the bracelet to Mr. Fenn, which doesn't really fit my solve because I don't have it yet, if you know what I mean. But I believe I can go straight to it, and that could be a conflict of interest, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'll be watching the show.
Do you know what he
I don't know what he means.
I don't either.
Okay, so let's try this again. I'm very confident that I have the poem figured out. Okay. So that should be an and/or. Let me read that again. I'm very confident that I have the poem figured out and/or understood. Okay, he's got it all figured out. Now I have a dilemma. Do I have to present the bracelet to Mr. Fenn, which really doesn't fit my solve because I don't have it yet, if you know what I mean. Okay, so you don't have the treasure until you have evidence. Nobody's going to believe that you have the treasure, including Forrest Fenn, until you have evidence that you have the treasure. And the evidence would include handing over the bracelet, sending it to him, whatever you wanted to do with the bracelet to indicate if that's what you wanted to do. I don't think it's necessary to give it to Forrest Fenn because I think he just considered it as a way to find out that the treasure had been found. But at least, so if you want me to believe that you have the treasure, take a picture of the bracelet sitting on today's newspaper, whatever today is on that day, and send me that picture. That's when I'll believe that you found the treasure. Until then, it's all theoretical. And I'm not asking because I'm not stick in the mud about these things. Anybody who has invested any time in this hunt, including Fenn himself, is going to expect some sort of evidence, some sort of proof that you've recovered the treasure, other than saying, I know where it is. I'm certain, right? I'm certain I know where it is. That's not proof. That's not evidence. That's theory. And that's what you have to deal with. And everybody else in this chat room is going to call it a theory because they all have their own theories that they know where it is. But until somebody has evidence that that treasure has been recovered, you're just one of hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands that were in the same position. We all have a lottery ticket.
Jen Kerb says, can you comment on the meaning of this Forrest Fenn quote? And what about water high? Does it mean deep or higher than normal? Unquote. Normal refers to what? I would say average.
Yeah, Shelley's right about it. Does it mean, it means normal is average. The question is, the question I had when I heard that quote is, that just misdirection? Maybe it's neither of those things. Maybe it's just a way of distracting you from what the real meaning of water high is. Water high may have a meaning that has nothing to do with, some people interpret the what's that thing in Osher where the trains come in?
The water tower?
Yeah, the water tower. Some people interpret the water tower at the Osher train station as water high. So we don't even know if he's talking about water because it's a metaphor. I think to say what he did in that particular quote and then give you some characterization. There's only one thing I can be certain of. If Fenn has given you what you believe to be a characterization of one of the clues in the poem, it isn't, because he wouldn't do that.
Or he hasn't anyway.
Or he hasn't. Okay, Toby, can't see your tie. Will you show me? I don't know. It depends. What do I get?
You want applause? Find the applause.
Okay, so it's just a...
Oh, that was the wrong button.
So it's just it's a pattern tie. I happen to like this color combination because you can wear it with a charcoal suit. So it's just a pattern tie. It's red, gray, red and shades, red, black, and shades of gray. So it always goes nice with a charcoal suit. So thank you for asking. Very kind of you to ask.
Kevinston wants to know, how can Forrest be so sure that no one will just happen to run across the treasure?
He can't be, I don't think he can be absolutely certain. I think that's an absolute statement. I think he's underestimated the potential for the evolution of technology and the evolution and growth of humanity and the changes in environment and ecology. I don't think you can be absolutely certain forever. I think he really feels like he's done such a good job of hiding the treasure in a location that isn't well traveled is what he expects. I mean, my favorite comment that he made is no one will accidentally stumble over that treasure, something like that. That's not an exact quote, that's a paraphrase. No one will accidentally stumble over that treasure. And that's good if you hid the treasure and you've waited 10, maybe 20 years. And in the meantime, the population is growing. It's traveling more. It's going to places that it hadn't gone before. So there is, I mean, the examples that I used is most of the great treasures that have been discovered accidentally. Now, it may have been a period of hundreds of years in between the time they were lost, if you will, and the time that they were found. But the great treasures, and I'll use as an example that treasure that was just found 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago, by the research vessel for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric, maybe it wasn't NOAA, it was out of Cape Cod. What was that? There's a research facility in Cape
Eric?
Cod. Eric, what's that research facility in Cape Cod? And they were actually doing a LiDAR survey of the ocean floor to add to their knowledge of the ocean floor. And it was late at night, wherever they were, and there was one person on board up in the research area who was responsible for making sure the equipment was working in a consistent way, and happened to notice this anomaly on the bottom. Showed it to everybody the next morning, and they went back and they said, that is not an anomaly, those are cannons and ship parts, wooden ship parts. And they went back. And they concluded, after doing some research, it was one of the biggest Spanish galleon sightings and they wrote all about it. Just look up $17 billion Spanish galleon. That's what they've estimated the value of that treasure is. And it's Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute. And they've never published the location because there's still an argument between Spain and Colombia in South America over who owns the treasure, because it was the Spanish that were taking the treasure out of Colombia, headed for Spain, when it sunk in a storm. That was found by accident, and I could name you 5 or 6 other treasures that were located by accident. I'm sure that the people that hid those treasures never imagined, well, hid in the case of the Spanish galleon, it was not hidden, it was just lost at sea. But I imagine that when the people that hid those treasures hid them, they said to themselves, no one will ever accidentally find this treasure. Yet consistently in history, and in the history of treasure finding, they have been accidentally found. And you can name in history, in recent history, within the past 100 years, look up the number of treasures, do a research on the number of treasures that were discovered accidentally, that people weren't even looking for a treasure but found one. What?
Keep talking.
Okay. So, what was that question? So yes, I think he can, in his own mind. It's going to sound like it's critical. If I was Forrest Fenn, I would want to believe that the treasure that I hid wouldn't never be accidentally stumbled upon. The reality is history, the evolution of history, the evolution of technology, and the growth of humanity prevents that from being an absolute possibility. It could one day be stumbled upon. Okay. Okay, hi Shelley and Toby, it's me, Randy, from the Midwest. When I pick up the chest this spring, I would like to sell it intact at auction. However, I still want a souvenir. Do you think they would notice if I took out something small, perhaps a double eagle? It depends on who the auctioneer is, but sooner or later the auctioneer is going to ask for validation of what was supposed to be on the treasure, and the more intact you leave the treasure, including leaving the olive jar sealed in wax, etc., and all the pieces in, the more likely you are going to get, because the buyer at auction is going to want an intact treasure. What you could do is make it a part of the deal so that you could buy one of the pieces back from the buyer at auction. You could make that deal, but I wouldn't. If I was selling it at auction, I wouldn't take anything out. I would sell it completely intact. I would have it auctioned completely intact.
I think we had a question from Mark Wood. He wanted to know more about the Coyote Trickster comment, or calling Fenn a Coyote Trickster?
So
Where that came from?
The Coyote Trickster, the concept of the Coyote Trickster comes from Native American lore. The coyote is seen as a tricky, shape-changing troublemaker. And so it comes directly out of southwestern Native American lore. So let me go back. I think that's the last of the text questions.
Alrighty.
You can fix it if you have to. Okay.
Yeah. If you think that's the thing to do.
If you think it's the thing to do. James from Texas, how did you establish your spot in the special spot? We never found the special spot. We found a special place, but when we found what we believed to be the special place, and we started, like everyone should start, with the precise location of where warm water salts. And then we followed the clues down to what we concluded was a special place. The frustrating part at that point was there was thousands, hundreds, if not thousands, of places within 100 feet where that treasure could have been hidden. And at that point, you have to start asking yourself, like, I could spend the rest of my life. You know, Forrest has said you're not going to find it on spring break. You're not going to find it on the day you go out for a picnic. It's going to take some time to find it. And so we ended up just asking ourselves, is this the kind of thing that we want to do with the rest of our lives? And we said, no, we want to do other things like green screen, do green screen. How cool is that? I can see the results. What is it? Instant gratification. AJ from Texas. Have you heard about Forrest Fenn has an old friend living at Lamar Ranger Station? If not, I'll call and tell it. AJ from Texas. I have not heard that, AJ. If you call and find out that someone is actually living here, if I remember correctly, the Lamar Ranger Station is not habitable at this point, if I remember correctly. But I don't know. You can call and find that out. I don't know necessarily. I suppose it could be a friend of Forrest's, but not intentionally, maybe by default. But I don't know. And if you do find out, let us know, and we'll put it on the show.
Cooley wants to know about that ring you were wearing.
What ring?
The ring you're wearing.
Well, it's my gold ring.
She wants to know if you're engaged.
What?
It's on your wedding finger.
That's the only place that I can wear a ring is on my left hand. And the reason is, for years, I wore my class ring on my right hand, my wedding ring when I was married. I used to wear my wedding ring on my left hand, like you're supposed to do. And I moved my class ring to my right hand. And every time I shook hands with someone, it would crack the knuckles. I mean, it got painful after a while, especially if the person had a firm handshake. In Washington, everybody, you have to give back some handshake, brother. So I quit wearing it. So whenever I got a decorative ring, and since I wasn't married, I've just moved it over to my left hand. I'm neither engaged. I am happily single, and will stay that way.
So it's kind of like, when a nun wears a ring because she's married to Jesus.
And I am not married to Jesus, but
But maybe you're married to the idea
Magdalene,
that you want to stay single for the rest of your life.
So I am married to the ideal that I love my freedom and independence being single. So I used to wear it. When I'd go out, just to kind of protect myself. But
it probably goes the other way.
Oh, you mean so they were protected from me?
No, so they're going to go, oh, he's wearing a ring. I'm going to flirt with him because then I know I can get away with it.
Oh, I see. Okay, he's not going to. Okay, we have a voicemail with no transcript. They bailed on us. Let's see what they got. Yeah, no transcript. Okay, so do we want to open up the phone lines or just take stuff from the room?
Go ahead and open the phone lines, and we'll take stuff from the room in between phone calls
All right.
If we get anything.
Let's open up the phone line. So I'm going to try. I want you, if you're calling in, I don't want you. I'm going to ask you, please, when you call in, turn the volume.
There it is.
Oh, man. Wait a minute. That's right. Okay. Turn the volume down on your. Oh, they hung up already.
Oh.
Didn't expect
They couldn't wait for you. You're too slow.
Okay.
Snooze, you lose.
Don't forget to turn the volume down on your computer and make sure you tell me who you are and where you're calling from. You don't have to give all that information, but so So phone lines are now officially open. Let us know. Oh, I turned my ringer off. Hold on. Let me turn the ringer on so it's not killing you guys.
I thought you were just going to buzz it. What's wrong with buzzing?
Oh, that's it. No. Are you hearing a ring?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let me see what I got here. Hello, wait a minute. Hang on. Oh, I can't. Yeah, just a minute. Don't go away. I'm hold and accept, end and accept. No, I don't want to do this. Hold on. Don't go away. Whoever's listening, don't go away. I have another line call coming in. Okay, hang on. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Okay, I'm waiting.
Hello.
Turn your computer down.
Hey, it's Candy. I'm waiting.
Candy?
Somewhere.
Candy? Is there somebody talking over you?
Yes?
Turn your computer volume off.
Okay, hold on. My dog took the button. Oh, God.
Okay, have you got some other folks with you in the room? Okay.
Pardon?
All right.
Okay.
Now, okay,
There we
so
go.
the volume is gone. So we're clear. Hi, Candy. Is this Candy?
Good.
D'Amico?
Is it D'Amico?
D'Amico.
Hi, I'm the one that keeps asking you about your ties. Yeah, I like them.
Oh, okay,
At
but
any rate, my question is,
go ahead.
and you've probably answered this a million times, but I was wondering if you could talk about how to get the chest across the border. You know, if you're driving, are you going to get stopped? Are they going to check you out? You know, how do you get that thing across any border, wherever
Right.
it's at?
Well,
Can you talk about that?
yeah. So, do you want to take it offline, or do you want to stay on the phone?
It's up to you.
Just stay online, because what's going to happen if you hang up, somebody else is going to call, and I'm not going to get to finish it. So here's the deal:
Okay.
if you're just talking straight lines, state lines, then there is no requirement to as you're crossing state lines, there's no requirement to report that you have $2 million in your trunk, right? So there's nothing. Now, on the other hand, if you're stopped by police and you're behaving strangely, they have a right to ask you if they can search your car. You have a right to say, no, your car is your private space. It's like being in your house, okay? So you don't have to give anyone permission.
No?
Pardon me?
You can say no?
To search your car? Yes, you can. You can say no.
Yeah.
You don't have to give a police officer permission to search your car. He has to have probable cause. So if he has probable cause, generally speaking, if you're acting suspiciously, what a police officer will do is they will ask you if they can, do you mind if you search your car? Your answer to that is, yes, I do mind. No, you may not search my car. They can only search your car with probable cause, and probable cause is not that he can't possibly know that you have treasure hidden in your trunk. And if you did, there is not a damn thing he could do about it. You're carrying your treasure home, right? So when you cross lines like going into Mexico and Canada, the rules are a little bit different because they have permission to search your car. They don't have to ask. They can just search your car. But across state lines, the only thing that you have to do is just, follow the laws, maintain the speed limit, don't do anything crazy or stupid that would attract the police officer's attention. Drive at a normal rate of speed, drive normally. Don't drive aggressively, just drive normally. And if you are stopped, don't give the officer any more information than you have to. You're not even required to give them your driver's license, but you should give them your driver's license, and then you don't have to answer anything else. There is nothing else. Now, there's dozens of YouTube videos that will explain how to handle a police stop, but you're not required to give them any other information, and they do not have the right to search your car. Any more than they have the right. You have a Fourth Amendment right to avoid illegal search and seizure. And your car, when you're in it, is treated like your home. But what a police officer will do is they'll flash their little light around in your car, and they'll say, do you mind if I search your car? And your answer is, yes, I do mind. No, you may not search my car. And then they'll say something like, oh, why? Are you hiding some drugs? And you say, you don't have to answer any more questions. And you say to them, I'm not going to answer any more questions. And unless they come up with probable cause, there's nothing they can do about it. Now, I'm not suggesting that we all go hostile on police officers, but the simple fact of the matter is you have constitutional rights that a police officer can't get past. Not unless you pull
Yeah, I
out.
didn't know that.
Yeah. They have no right to search your car.
Just be polite.
Yeah,
Just
if
be
you just say,
polite.
and that's what I do whenever I'm stopped for whatever reason, whether I get a ticket or not. I'm polite. I answer the first two questions with yes. But the minute he asks something like, do you know why I'm stopping you? My answer is, I will answer no further questions. And then he'll choose to
very
write me a ticket or not, and let me go on my way. Police officers are trained to, I don't want to say take advantage, but they know how to manipulate themselves into situations that the Constitution protects you against. The minute you start answering questions, you're more likely to do yourself damage than you are to help yourself. So the best thing to do is, they don't have permission to search your car unless you give them permission, so don't. And you don't have to answer any question, not even your name. You do not have to answer any question. You have a Fifth Amendment right to protect yourself. So, yeah.
But you do have to show them your driver's license and insurance and all that stuff.
You do, but if you want, you can say, my lawyer has advised me not to do that. And then if they want to take you in to do that, they can do that. It's better just to give them the basic things. If you have a driver's license, and that's the other thing. If you're going to drive across state, make sure you have a current driver's license, that you don't have any outstanding felony warrants, that you have insurance, and that you have a current registration. Because if you have those things, that's where the conversation ends. That conversation ends there. Okay? And as a matter of fact, while you're on, well, I'm thinking about this. So I want to give you guys a warning. My daughter, Sean, was at an art show up in Colorado recently, outside of Denver. It's called the Frozen Dead Guy Days. I guess it's like the winter version of, what's that thing they do?
Burning Man.
Burning Man. It's like the winter version of Burning Man in Colorado. And she was driving back, and she went by two vehicles stopped alongside of the road. There was no one outside the vehicle. One of them was black, but there was no lights, there was no signage, there was nothing. She went right by them on the right side of the road. The police officer, it was a police officer. He was not outside his car. When she passed, he followed her, pulled her over, and cited her to the tune of $270 for not giving way to an emergency vehicle. In Colorado, they have a law that states if you're on a four-lane highway, and you see an emergency vehicle ahead of you, you need to pull over and give the right of way to the emergency vehicle. If you do not do that, you're going to get a ticket. The problem was, and she has a dashboard. I gave her several years ago. I did give her a dashboard camera. She didn't have it on. If she had it on, she would have connected that there was no indication this was an emergency situation, but the guy gave her a ticket anyway. So it's one of.
The guy pulled someone else over, and she was just going down the road.
Yes.
And went right past him.
Yes.
Wow.
And didn't move
Never
over to the
heard
left
that
lane
before.
because
That's crazy.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If you're in Colorado, they do. I don't even know if they have it in New Mexico. I'm going to find out. But I know for.
What to do? Stop?
No, you're supposed to pull over to the left lane. You're supposed to find a way to give the emergency vehicle leeway, meaning you have to pull over into the left lane. So you have to consider, are there other cars in the left lane? So the law is weird in that it puts you in this funny situation where you're having to make a whole bunch of weird decisions while you're doing 65 miles, 70 miles an hour. And she just went, she saw the vehicles, no lights, no stoplights, no people outside the vehicles, nothing, and went by them. And he stopped her.
I would do the same thing.
$270 citation and 3 points on her license. So it was really painful for her.
Was she able to do anything about that?
No, she's got to pay it. She can go to court up in Denver and pay for it, and fight it. But it'll be her word against the officers, and you're not going to, unless you have visual evidence, you're not going to win against the officer.
Oh, that's too bad.
So-
I got up from Nevada. I would never, that
Just-
would have been a surprise for me.
If you're going with your treasure, there is no requirement for you, put it in your trunk, covered up, put it in a backpack, and drive safely home. Don't drive at 45 and don't drive at 45. Yeah. So.
Very informative.
All right. Well, thank you for calling, Candy. Oh, and
right,
Shelley and I want to know how we pronounce your name. Is it D'Amico or D'Amico?
D'Amico.
D'Amico. Okay. All right. Well,
D'Amico, yeah.
thank you for calling in.
All right, sweetie.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good evening, and thank you for all your commentary on my ties. I love it.
You too. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye. Question. So we got a question here. Question is, if I find the treasure and meet Fenn, what are some gift ideas I can bring for him besides his bracelet? I'd hate to come empty-handed. Well, you're talking to the guy that's not going to do any of that, so it's hard for me to give you advice. And thankfully, someone is calling in, so let's talk to them. This is Toby Younis on AGK Media. Who's calling? Where are you calling from? And what's your question?
Yeah, my name is E from Texas. How are you doing?
Good. E, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well, thanks. I want to talk about a couple things that were related. And one of the videos you guys did a while back about the whole, did Forrest hide a treasure in 2003 or 2010? Got me thinking about this, and when that Detroit Institute of Art chest showed up a few weeks ago, and everybody was trying to figure out, is that, it was such an almost exact copy of the chest, that they had to go take more pictures of it. So it got me thinking, is it possible that if there are duplicates out there that look almost exactly the same, that Forrest has two of those himself? And the reason I think about this is, going back to your video, if you think about the fact that Forrest said he worked on the poem for 15 years, or it took him 15 years before he hid the treasure, from 1988 to 2003 is 15 years.
And he said that in the Moby Dickens video.
Well, I looked it up on terryscant.com, and he has been quoted 9 times saying that it took him 15 years from when he got cancer to when he finished the poem. And that's a lot of times to say the same thing.
Well, the difference is, if you don't mind me saying so, at Moby Dickens, he said it was 15 years between the time he got sick and the time he hid the treasure. It wasn't when he finished the poem.
Right,
that was the difference about Moby Dickens. Anyway, let me not interrupt. Go ahead.
Well, so my to kind of take this out to the nth degree, and this is very hypothetical. This is all theory here, okay? But if you're Forrest Fenn and you have 2 of these chests, I personally believe that there's something significant about the year 2003. Whatever it is, I don't know. But if you're Forrest Fenn and you're saying 15 years, something happened in 2003 to make you do something, to make you act. So if you have 2 chests, in 2003 you go out and you hide one of those chests and you hide it empty. And you let that chest sit there for the next 7 years, and you go check on it. And after 7 years, nobody has found that empty chest. It's still there. That kind of gives you some comfort that you've picked a pretty good spot to hide the chest. So then if you jump forward to when he says, I was 79 or 80 when I hid the treasure, my thinking is, we know that the chest was seen in his vault. We know that guy Childs said in 2009 he had seen it. Well, if you've got 2 chests, you put one out in the woods as a test to see if anybody's going to find it. The second one is still in your vault, and you're using it for the next 7 years to fill it up with stuff. And come 2009 or 2010, you say, all right, I'm ready now. And you take that stuff. You know it fits in the chest because you've been putting it in there for 7 years. You take just the stuff, and you go back to your chest that you hid in 2003, and you put the stuff in it. And the reason I think that is, he said he made 2 trips. And if you look at what he said, I took the chest in one time He doesn't say first. He says, I took the chest one time, and I took the gold the second time. He says one time and second time. He doesn't say I took it first and then next on the same trip.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still make 2 trips to the hiding spot if you make one of them in 2003, and you make one of them in 2010. But what I found also interesting was he says 7 different times that he had a rule in his life that he would never spend more than 15 years doing anything. Do you remember him saying that?
Yeah, Shelley reminds me of that one all the time.
Okay, so think of the math here. From 2003 plus 15 years, you are, I'm sorry, let me back up. From 1988 to 2003 is 15 years, right? I'm not going to do anything for more than 15 years. So I start thinking about this in 88. In 2003, it's like, you know what? It's been my 15 years. It's time to act. I'm going to go do something about it. Now go from 2003 to 2018. You've got 15 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does he say right after 2019 turns over? He tells Ginny Kyle he's done. He's moving on.
It's his 15
right?
years.
There's another 15 years.
Yeah. All right. So I think all of that is plausible. I'm a big fan of Occam's razor. Entia non sunt multiplicanda praeter necessitatem. Entities should not be multiplied beyond their necessity, right? So the simplest solution is usually the right one. With Fenn, there are no simple solutions. You have to consider every possibility. So for my own gratification, I'm beyond the 2003 thing. But let me give you something to think about. In return for you having made this call, let me give you something to think about. So there are a lot of things that happened in 2003, including Fenn giving up flying. So it could very well be that the 15 years included that he wanted to give up flying. But if there's a video that we did on kind of the Fenn timeline, and you'll see that 2003 time period was very active for him. He was making a lot of personal and in some cases professional decisions. So here's another theory we played with after we heard there was a second chest. After we heard that someone had seen the chest in Forrest's house after 2003. Here's that theory, and I've never shared this before, but because you brought it up, I'm going to share it with you. All right? Imagine this. Imagine Forrest did hide the treasure in 2003, and that in the jar where he put a lock of his hair, the purpose being if someone were to find that treasure, he could prove he was the person that hid it. The DNA in the lock of the hair would tell him. Now that DNA doesn't last forever, but it would last as far as 2010 when the book, The Thrill of the Chase, was published. And he writes the poem and sends you back to the place where he hid the treasure in 2003. And this is all purely hypothetical, right? But then another chest has been spotted, right? And maybe there is more than one. You know, obviously, the Detroit Institute of Art has a chest. We know that there's a guy that manufactured his own chest in 2014, et cetera, et cetera. So let's say that you're correct. Let's say there's a second chest, but it doesn't match the first chest exactly, and no one would know that it did. They would see a chest, excited to be near that chest as it is filled with all these objects of value, and they're not going to sit down and start counting gold coins or the number of rubies or the number of emeralds. They're going to see that chest with a bunch of objects in it and say to everyone, I saw Fenn's chest in 2000 and such and such. But then there are these odd pictures that came out of what I would say sequence. And they're pictures of the chest. I'm not claiming that this is a hoax. I believe Forrest Fenn hid a chest, hid a treasure, and that it's still out there. And that it will remain out there until the finder finds it. So let's get that out of the way first. But is it plausible that the second chest that you think exists that was in his house was just another treasure chest with a completely different treasure that didn't need to match the first one, the one that he hid in 2003, not just the chest, but the entire treasure, including the olive jar with his locks of hair in it. And because his theory about it would not be stumbled upon between 2003 2010, went ahead and published the book. So it's your turn to think about that, and then call me next week and tell me what you come up with. See whether you can validate that one.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for taking my call.
No, thanks for calling in. We've thought about that as well. So don't feel like you're off track here.
Well, I just can't get past the fact that he says the 15 years so many times, and then he says the 79 or 80 so many times.
Yeah.
Why do that discrepancy so many times?
Well, why?
Unless
the
two different things.
Simplest of the whys and all is why the lock of hair? Why do you need to put a lock of hair in a treasure in which you've identified as originally yours in 2010? Why is there a lock of hair in there? All right. Yeah. Let me take another call, brother.
But it's interesting to think about.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
That's what we do, right? We spend a lot of time thinking about it. All right, sir. Have a good evening. Thanks for calling in. Missed call.
All right, the lines are back open again.
Oh my God!
What?
You did that so well. That was like Robin on the
866-597-9901. That's 866-597-9901. Call us now.
Because we only have about.
We'll take one or two more calls, depending on how long you people stay on keep Toby talking. It's not their fault. It's your fault.
Short calls. Here we go. Got one coming. Is that the same call? Hey, this is Toby Younis on AGK Media with Shelley Carney. Who's this? Where are you calling from? And what's your question?
Hey, howdy, AJ from Texas.
It's AJ from AJ Rainville, right?
The thrill of the chase.
Yes, sir.
Looking high and low.
Yeah.
Looking everywhere I go. Does that sound familiar?
It does. Yeah, that's a song, right?
Yeah, I wrote it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I didn't write the song. I wrote the chorus and the music.
Oh, very nice.
And you played it.
Oh, AJ, yeah, that's the song that you sent us about the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt, right?
10-4.
Yeah, send it to me again so we can play it for the folks. I haven't played it in a while, and I have no idea where in all my files it is right now. So send it to me again.
Well, I need to get with Forrest so we can get it copywritten.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it is.
Just kidding. Anyway, I was up at Yellowstone last May, and I stopped at the ranger station and met a ranger, elderly lady, and she said that Forrest Fenn had a friend that lived there. They were in process of remodeling it, but she told me that they had brought some people in because they thought the treasure was in the basement because they thought that was below the home of Brown.
Oh, the Lamar Ranger Station. Is that what you're talking about? The Lamar Ranger Station?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, good. All right. So there is someone there that is a friend of Forrest Fenn living in the Lamar Ranger Station. Is confirmed by one of the rangers at Yellowstone. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Wow, interesting news then. Well, I guess what we need to do is the next time somebody goes up to Sledneck lives near there, right?
It's up in there, yeah.
Yeah. And I sent you a picture. I don't know if I could text a picture to you of Yellowstone in May, but what's the best way to send you that picture?
You can send it to gypsyskiss@gmail.com.
Okay, yeah, let me send you that picture because I'd like to see it sitting behind you too.
Okay, yeah. Well, is it this May or last May?
Yeah, May 18. Yeah.
Yeah.
2018.
It was still covered with snow?
Just the mountains.
Yeah.
The valleys look nice.
Well, send it to us so we can put it in our folder of boots on the ground pictures.
Oh, roger that. Now, I'm going to redo that song a little bit, and I'll send you another copy.
We look forward to hearing it.
All right. Y'all take care.
All right, AJ. Have a good evening.
Okay, bye.
So that's not AJ Rainville. AJ
Right.
Rainville is from
West Virginia.
West Virginia, yeah. That's AJ from Texas. Must have some military background. Whole Roger that.
And the phone lines are back open again. 1-866-597-9901. Call now.
No more questions from the room?
Nothing to us so much.
Boy, that just doesn't want to cooperate with you, does it?
Bleh. It's been being crazy tonight.
Let me slide the mouse over here and see what we've got.
So anyway, yeah. Lead Searcher Summit.
Elite Searcher Summit. All the lead searchers are going to go and discuss where each
They
of them
should
is
have
going
like a master, what do you call it, a mastermind meeting?
Yeah.
Well, a lead searcher meeting.
Little lead searcher whiteboard session.
Lead searcher mastermind.
And see if they can get for the first time. So you start by saying, okay, the first thing we're going to do is put down where you, lead searcher, think the treasure is. And see if what you want to do is if there's two.
That would never happen because they're never willing to share their information.
Well, then don't have a lead searcher summit.
I know, right?
Is that what they're talking about in the
Somebody brought it up. Yeah. No, you're not crazy, Todd. Todd did say something earlier that I saw, and I forget what he said now, and I agreed with it. So, no, Todd, you're not crazy.
You're perfectly sane.
I don't remember what you said, but I agreed with it, whatever it was.
Okay, so I'm going to turn the phone line off since we're not getting any more calls right now. Phone line is now off.
Alrighty.
You can text us and you can leave voicemails. Do we have anything else we have to finish up?
Treasure Law. Do you think, from John Ito, do you think the 24 lines in the poem relate to 24 of Forrest's best memories? For example, I Alone in there is when he covered I over Philly.
So the theory is that you could translate the poem and relate each of the lines into something in Forrest's life that he may or may not have documented. I think the purpose of the poem is just to give you the clues to finding the treasure, and B, make the legal transfer of ownership. I don't think there's anything more than that. That's my opinion.
We'd
Because
certainly
then-
be ready to listen to once you've got that all figured out. Then
Yeah.
let us know what you got.
Yeah.
We'll look at it.
That would be a heck of a conversation. But the other thing that you have to consider is there's 9 sentences in the poem. So do the 9 sentences represent some significant point? Is like you got to ask the question. You've got to ask any question about the poem in the context of boom. Which one? What do we got?
Chad Bird, how many people do we really think is looking now? Personally, I think it's up by Hebgen Lake. Seems super logical. Why not? Chad Bird, $10. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. That was very kind of you.
Yeah.
So
how many people are looking now?
I don't think anybody is looking right now.
Oh, I think you mean how many are currently active in the chase, right? I think that's what it means. I would say probably about 100.
Active?
Yeah.
No, I would say more than 100 and less than 350,000. So I think you could take the active boots on the ground, searchers who have put boots on the ground or will put boots on the ground at 10 to 15,000.
Adniram says, this is AJ from Texas. Can I do a slideshow of my chase and have the song play at the same time? You should do that, and then you could put it up on your YouTube channel.
Well, that's the way to do that, AJ. Yeah. You have a YouTube channel. Just do that. Put it up on the YouTube channel, and we'll share the link, everybody.
Yeah.
There's a question from Texas. From Tom K. He's not highlighting it, so you can't see it. He says, AGK, who is the musician of Pink Flamingo? I can't find it on the web. So, first of all, Tom K., it's not Pink Flamingo. It's Pink Flamenco.
Minko.
And I bought it from Audio Jungle. It's a royalty-free music that I bought on audiojungle.com. So, yeah, you're not going to find it on the web. You have to pay, I think it was, one of those $18, $19 ditties. So that's what I use music from Audio Jungle. and from karaokeversion.com.
Tex Coin says, is there any validity to the story of Forrest returning from hiding the treasure and his wife saying, I didn't even know you were gone?
There is no... So I believe he said that, but nobody else does. I guess that's the best way to put it. I believe that at one time or the other, Fenn said that in my presence, but I have no evidence of that.
How can people be going boots on the ground in a week when there's like 2 feet of snow everywhere now?
Agreed.
Everywhere in the Rocky Mountains for sure, and especially above 5,000 feet.
Okay.
So
that's an ideal opportunity to
do that. Stay safe.
I think it's going to be a long winter melt.
Yeah, I think so too. And we're probably going to get a lot more snow before it stops snowing altogether. Some clue as to where to look with certainty. We would like to think so. Jungle Cruiser says, with that many people trying, don't you think more than a few people would have some clue as to where to look with certainty?
You would think after 9 years and that many people looking, there would be someone who would be looking with some sense of certainty that they were in the right place. So my theory is everybody believes they're right, and that's okay, right, until you're not. Because it's all theoretical. There is no certainty in it. There's no certainty until you're standing over the chest. That's when it's certain. Up until then, it's all theoretical.
Missouri Dave says, where are metal detectors prohibited? National forest, parks? Question mark.
So the only place that I know you can use metal detectors and dig holes simultaneously are national forests, and state forests and BLM land. You go into parks, national or state parks, and they get a little bit upset if you take out your
metal detector
or your gun. You can. Here's what's interesting about it. You can have a gun in your car and drive through Yellowstone. You can't take your gun out of the car. I can give you all those weird rules. And metal detectors the same way. You can drive through Yellowstone with a metal detector in your car, but you can't take it out of your car. You can fly a drone over Yellowstone, but you can't take off or land from the park. I know all those weird park rules. Okay.
All right.
So, are you about ready to call it a night?
I think we're close to
We're done, huh?
nighty-night time.
Yeah.
Have you ever ran into other chasers during your boots on the ground? Ed and Iram Judson. We did in Osher Station. It was the first and only time.
Was it Debbie? Was her name?
Don't know. I actually didn't meet her. I was
There was
in the car.
So I'm going to tell this story again, just because I like telling the story. We had stopped at Osher Station, and we were going down into the valley, into the where the Rio de los Pinos are, and I went in looking for the gentleman's room, and I didn't know where it was inside because they were serving their cafeteria style, and we weren't eating there at that time. And I went into the station, and I turned, and there was a lady that was obviously working there, and I said, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the gentleman's room is?" And she said, "It's that way, Toby," like that. And I didn't know who she was. She knew who I was. And so I stopped, and it turned out that I think her name was Debbie. And she was gone the last time we were up there. But she and her 2 children every summer went up and worked at Osher Station and camped nearby and searched in the Rio de los Pinos. So that was the first. I think I can say that's the first and only time we've ever met another searcher on our travels.
Mm-hmm. They're saying that,
as a matter of fact, the majority of people that we meet have no idea what we're talking about.
They're saying you can now carry a gun in Yellowstone National Park, but not in the buildings.
Oh, okay. You mean, and do you have to have a concealed carry license?
They didn't say that.
You can open carry a gun in Yellowstone?
That's what I'm getting from a couple of people here.
That's interesting.
Sledneck and the Blaze of Glory.
Huh. You can carry a gun in Yellowstone, not in buildings. So, Blaze of Glory, are you saying you can open carry in Yellowstone? without a license. So that's the question I have for you, because that would be new. That would be new. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 9:05. We've been on kind of a long enough, fighting OBS with its audio problems. I hope you've been able to hear us tonight. It sounds good in here, so I think we're okay. And I'm going to go back to my headset. I realized I've got to wear a headset anyway. So why have, twice the problems with a microphone and a headset when I can just wear one and have half the problems? Yeah, don't tap it twice. That happens.
I already tapped it a few times and nothing happened. So.
Is Heather Dawn still in the room?
Yes.
I just want to play her theme one more time. And is Christy still in the room?
I'll be back soon. Yes. There was a joke on the other night, one of the late night shows. They were saying people are waiting for that Bob Mueller report. Even George R.R. Martin's like, hurry up already.
I can't wait anymore. I'm running out of episodes. We'll give Shelley one more time.
Cause girls like you round other guys like me to sundown when I come through. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I have the Google Mini, and whenever I tell it, hey Google Mini, play relaxing pop music on my living room TV, it always starts with that song.
Knows you like it.
I do like it. I like it. I think it's a cute song. It's a great video. The video concept is really, that's what I like.
Can't discharge your firearm in the park.
Yeah.
I saw open carry in Yellowstone. National parks legal to carry, never legal to use, even if under attack.
Yeah, you can't use them against
So why have it with you if you're not going to use it?
You're better off just leaving it in the car. Okay.
Toby is hip. So 70s.
And
thank you everybody for being here tonight, for all your great questions and comments, and for HK Media, I'm Shelley Carney.
That's what we're doing, preaching a little gospel and selling a couple of bottles of Dr. Good.
Dr. Good.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us tonight. We look forward to seeing you again next Wednesday on the Hump Day Hoedown, where we'll have more questions, more answers, more emails, and more phone calls, we hope. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Jim, I will get you a picture of me wearing that tie, hell or high water, because I'm going to celebrate St. Patrick's Day tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys.